What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB. This video, we are going to react to the gameplay footage from Eric Rayweather, who's one of the best, I think one of the best YouTubers out there. It's a 30-minute video. We're probably not going to watch the whole thing, but you can check out the link to the full video in the description of this video. You can see his entire video. I think we get one gameplay and a user game. So we're going to check that out. Before we get started, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. We're really trying to grow this channel out, hopefully to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I can give you guys some really good content moving forward. So let's get started. Check this out.
I've got some early gameplays of College Football 26. This video is presented by the EA Creator Network, as they did allow me to get this early footage, and I am on an earlier
Deep
build of the
ball.
game, so it's technically still a work in
Deep ball is
progress.
back,
In this
boys.
video, I'm going to be bringing you 3 separate
Hold
games.
up. Let's go back. I did not love the angles those defenders took. Watch on the right side, they ran into each other.
In this video,
This is
I'm
what
going to be
happened
bringing
in
you
last
3
year's
separate
game, right?
gameplays, one regular one online head-to-head,
Hopefully this
and
is
one
just
snow game
an early build.
footage, and I am on an earlier build of the game, so it's technically still a
What
work
she
in
says.
progress. In this video, I'm going to be bringing you 3 separate gameplays, one regular one online head-to-head, and one snow game, and I'm going to be breaking down
Okay.
all of the new gameplay features throughout, but I'm going to also let you listen to the sounds and some of the commentary at parts of the video as well. I'll also have some full raw gameplay tomorrow with no commentating. If that's what you're looking for, don't worry, I got you covered. Just make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so you don't miss it. Now, right here, I wanted to just let you listen to the Virginia Tech intro because it's really sick this year, but unfortunately, some company keeps false copyright claiming Enter Sandman for whatever reasons. TikTok, which I will link below in the comments. I'll have the full intro posted there tomorrow.
Get a way to start us off. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team.
So let's get things started by using one of the new plays in the game. They added like 2,800 of them. This is a triple option that I think is actually really, really cool. You can hand it off to the running back, of course.
So this looks like, let's go back. RPO, triple option, read option, RPO, which they had some of last year's. So I don't know. I don't think this is a brand new one.
800 of them. This is a triple option that I think is actually really, really cool. You can hand it off to the running back, of course. You can keep it with the QB. Let's see if we can get the pitch off.
Running back searching for a hole. Got enough for the first down and wants more.
Okay. Pitches still look clean. You can get away with pitches, late pitches, it looks like. All right, let's go back. Play call screen looks different format. And they show you the trenches, which is cool. It'd be cool if they showed you wear and tear. Maybe they do later. But this was a big thing, right? Size is supposed to matter in this year's game. So the fact that Virginia Tech, they're a little bit bigger on their offensive line. But if there's a big gap between offense and defensive line, that should show up in the game.
Running game making its presence felt. The Hokies just got that huge run. They love another explosive play. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Brings him down at the 48. It's a gain of 15 and a first down. Fundamental football with the Hokies.
Now, they also did a lot of work in the trenches this year on both sides, so run blocking should be better more times than not, especially if you're calling the right run versus the right front. But on the defensive side of the ball, the gap integrity is better, especially when you try to do things like jet sweeps and things like that. So the trench battle should be a lot better this year. Now, after a few plays of using our running back, I'm going to pull up my sub menu here by pressing up on the D-pad. I'm going to have my backup come in for the next play because we've already been using our star running back a little bit, and with where...
So one thing to note, it's got the third down back in there, and you're subbing your third down back, right? So this isn't going to stub out your starter. So if you were to go to a different formation and come back, your starter's still going to be in there if he's got wear and tear. So just keep that in mind. It looks like not only who the player is, but what position is in which formation.
We don't want to wear him down too quickly.
Here comes the option. He'll pitch it. Got the first down.
Good run.
Still on his feet. Touchdown, Virginia Tech.
Another small thing you may have noticed or maybe didn't, because they didn't really talk about it too much, they did redo the kicking animations, which is something they've done for the first time in many, many years.
Did they? Is that a new kick animation?
There, holy.
Yeah, I like that tackle. I didn't notice a new kick animation. Woo! Yo, that play was nasty. Whenever the computer would run that flip screen, so hard to stop. That was a user hit. I like that.
Now, with all of those new plays they added, they also added a bunch to the defensive side of the ball, too. So this nickel single mug's a new formation.
Single mug is
blitzes,
interesting.
crazy stunt plays in here. So we're going to call this play here, see if we can maybe...
All right, let's see how this stunt goes down. Oh, they ran into each other. You guys see that? I wonder if that's tied to player ratings. Like, I wonder if their pass rush moves are higher, if they'll be able to get those stunts off quicker. Or awareness, maybe. We'll see.
Now it's third down. I like to send pressure on third down. Crowd's rocking. I did shade inside. Man coverage is pretty tight. They did work with man coverage this year, but
should have been a user pick.
You don't have that safety help. You can get burnt just like that. I did shade inside, but sometimes a good receiver, if he has position, which he did, he cooked us to the house. And they also said that it's going to be harder to do those zero blitzes against good QBs this year. And Carson Beck is one of the better rated QBs in the game. They get the ball out hot a lot quicker this year, so you can't really abuse those defenses quite like you could last year, and we paid for it on this play.
I think it's a good thing, right? Zero blitzing is what everybody did to get the computer off the field or to get the user off the field. So the fact that you can take advantage of that, or the computer plays cover zero better, I think it's a good thing.
See if they can do it again. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line.
I'm rocking with the in-game environment.
Now, notice right here how my running back's ability starts to glow. That means he is up-tiering his ability. Now, your abilities can go up or down a tier in-game based on performance. So his downhill ability just got upgraded. So now I want to give him the ball and take advantage of this as we're going to truck forward for the first down. Now, another great feature this year is we can quick slide our line by flicking the right stick. So they have a star pass rusher on the left. If I want a half slide, all I had to do was flick my right stick to the left one time. If I want to do a full slide, then you just tap it to the left twice. And same thing for the right side of the field. So now you can slide your line to either side without having to press a bunch of extra buttons. Now, right here, we're going to try out another new play this year, the RPO peak wide pop. Now, this is a really cool one.
That is not a new play. I think they changed it a little bit. This used to be a bubble, and instead it got a smoke route out here. I think I like the bubble better, but let's see.
Because you can hand it off, you can throw it to the tight end if they overcommit, or you could hit the outside if they play off coverage. So there's a possibility we could have everything here, but the outside does look open, so we're just going to hand it off and pick up the easy yards that way. Now, right here, I kind of predetermined where I want to go. It looks like I've got a one-on-one press. The deep ball is good this year. If the DB doesn't get his head around, he can't go for the pick, but he does actually get his head around at the
pass lead that outside.
So this year, if you have the one-on-one,
go back.
One-on-one press, the deep ball is good.
See, he's got outside leverage. That ball needs to be out here. He may have pass led it, and he just didn't say it in the video.
Good this year. If the DB doesn't get his head around, he can't go for the pick, but he does actually get his head around at the last couple of seconds there. So this year, if you have the one-on-one, you can take it against DBs. If they're not turning around, they can't pick the ball off this year. As a user, I believe you can still get the picks, but the CPU cannot pick the ball off unless they are actually looking at it, and I tried to take my shot there. But if you notice here on the replay, watch how the DB does get his head turned around at the last second, and he's able to put eyes on the ball.
Does? That was better.
I'm going to try out another cover zero blitz here. Let's see if Carson Beck gets the ball.
So this is double mug. Something we want to see, right? How does the offensive line play against the double mug? How does the CPU play against the double mug? Is it any better?
Ball off again this time.
Cooked. Hooked.
These fans touching the figurative Hokie Stone, doing their part to help out on third down. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
Now right here, I got my safeties pinched in a little tight. That is a coaching adjustment this year. Going to try to tighten up the passing lanes here. But let me tell you about my terrible user. I'm on the tight end, and for some reason, I get caught looking in the
You
back.
ain't lying,
And I
terrible
peel
user.
off, and now look what happens.
Got it deep downfield. Touchdown, Hurricanes. A great catch and run for 6.
And you gotta love the creativity with the tight ends nowadays. I get back to what I did on the first part of that drive.
Looking to throw, it's Drones. Slips away. Slings it down.
That's a dot.
Complete downfield.
His eyes down the field.
He's going to take off. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the hit. A nifty pickup there.
That was a new slide.
Goes to the option. He'll toss it. Running.
Slide animation.
They'll finally make the tackle, but that option was executed to perfection.
Well, I love the variety in the
Another new feature this year is the substitution screen in your coaching adjustments. So you can set auto subs for each position group to deal with wear and tear. So for my running backs, I want to keep it on balance or keep them fresh because they're going to take the most abuse. Right now, I'm going to put my receivers on grind it out. I want my receivers to kind of stay out there because I'm going to need them. Same for my offensive line. I want them to grind it out. So you can either do the manual substitutions on the fly when you want, or you can set those auto subs. The choice is just kind of yours, or you can use both of them. There's a lot of different ways to make
Okay.
sure you're keeping your guys fresh. Now here, I see that it looks like they've got inside leverage. They've done a lot of work with leverage this year, and you can see he bites
Leap out.
inside, and we're able to cook him for an easy touchdown.
Still lethal, it looks
Really
like.
respecting leverage this year, you're going to be able to take advantage. However, on the flip side, if they play the correct leverage, they're going to probably be able to shut you down a little bit easier. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to that this year. Starting the second half, we got the crowd rocking. You might notice that the play clock screen kind of fades in and out. That's just another small little tweak to home field advantage this year. Now we're going to go back to the cover zero. We keep getting burned on it, and right here, I struggle to get to where I need to be in time. I try to get on the safety, but I don't get into the box quick enough, and they're going to be able to just gash us for 6, which should happen.
I
on the
like
play.
that.
I needed to get into the box, and I just couldn't get to my guy in time, and now Miami goes up 7 on us.
They've got the lead here in the
I like that. You cover zero blitz and you don't get there, it should be 6. Automatic 6.
Starting the next drive here, now we're down, and you're going to notice that my QB is going to take a pretty bad hit, and on the next play, the backup's in. So I pull up my subs to check, and it looks like the starter did injure himself, but he looks like he could still play, so we're going to make sure he comes back in because we're going to need the starter if we want to win this game. But the backup is going to come through on the 4th and 11 with a beautiful pass for the first down. You may notice that they
Ugly throw, but he got there.
this year. We see
That was a new catch mechanic too. See how he slid feet out instead of feet down?
a few different QBs throw passes in this game, so it should stand out a little more to you. There's a ton of releases in the game now. Higher releases, sidearm, low releases. So every QB throws the ball more accurately, and it just looks more like a real quarterback. Now here, we're going to fake him out with the pump fake and get a huge gain.
Nice dot.
What a play to get it inside the red zone, and they are set up at the 17.
trying to get some points on the board.
He loves his pop. Woo! That's a risky throw right there, chat. That's a risky throw.
They'll run it on 1st and goal. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. And they take it in for 6 more points.
Now we find ourselves in overtime, so I'm going to my safety depth and width and my coaching adjustments, and I'm pushing everything in tight because I want to be able to play the run but also tighten up the passing lane since we're close to the end zone. And as you can see, we blow up the run. Adjusting your safety depth is a huge change this year. You can set them deep, you can bring
Yes,
them
it
in tight,
is.
you can spread them out wide. So wherever your opponent's trying to attack, you can spread them out to better help them get to the position they need to get to.
Rises up on 3rd down, and now it's 4th down from the 22.
Yeah, safety depth is huge.
On 4th down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all
Both faking out the user and actually making plays on the ball.
looking to fire.
We'll talk about that more once 26 drops. Safety depth, where they need to be based on position, game time.
They'll dial up the run on 1st and goal. He's in. A game-winning touchdown.
Ball game.
And what a way to to finish off the first game of College Football 26. We're going to jump into the online head-to-head in just a second, but I wanted to show you a little bit of the post-game with them
That's
celebrating
new.
and also them coming out with the rivalry trophy. They added a lot of the rivalry trophies to the game this year, so you're going to see a lot more in this game.
Their jerseys look
last year.
a lot dirtier than
Now
they
for
did.
game number 2, we've got South Carolina versus Clemson.
Here we go,
Another
head to
rivalry
head.
game. I'm playing against Not The Expert, another YouTuber, and on the first play, he's going to
Another
the
good
run.
account.
Clemson's
If you
looking a
guys aren't
lot better
following
this
Not
year.
The
Not gonna say
Expert,
they're
it's another
perfect,
good
but
account.
they're a lot better. He makes me miss in the open field with the filthy juke.
Ooh,
And on the first
sticky,
play, he's
sticky,
going to the
icky,
house on
icky.
me.
Ooh, wee.
He got a step and just dusted the field. Trying to make life miserable for this
Eek RPO slant.
And that incomplete was a little bit back and forth. Some great coaches on both sides, but the in-state hate is beautiful. You know, there's a
Corner
lot of
route.
He's
Ooh, that's a dot.
great job by the receiver to get the
User
football.
catching.
Will put it in play from the 47 on 1st and 10. He hurls one deep
Got
to the
him.
left side.
Got him, coach.
He's got it. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way.
That's a new celebration. Look at that.
I saw him pressing, so I had to take the top off of the defense, and now we're hitting the Quan in the end zone, a new touchdown celebration.
Hit the
Going to coaching
Quan.
adjustments here because I know he likes to run the ball, and he popped us on the first play, so I'm going to adjust the safety depth and width. I'm going to bring him in tight. I'm going to pinch him so that we can get some more guys in the box to help defend the run. So you'll see the safeties are closer to the line. They're in tighter, so if he does try to
That-
run, we've got extra bodies
that
to help.
looks
and
like
it helps
cover
free up
zero.
some of our other defenders to get free because everything's muddied up with all the defenders in the box, and we stuffed the run. And notice how his running back just down-tiered his ability. Because we stuffed him, now his ability has down-tiered, so he's not going to be as
Okay.
effective as he would have been previously.
Always a huge stat, and they've got a 3rd and long from the 27. Looking downfield, it's Sellers. Grabbed over the
Right window. Throw, baby.
Going with one of the new defensive plays, trying to use some of these exotic.
Here's another
passes and
stunt. Let's see if this
to try to
stunt
see if
gets
we can
in.
Get some people free at the quarterback. Notice how
Nope.
he throws the ball
Ran into
and
each
then
other.
Jumps up to try to bat it. You're gonna
I don't know about
notice
these
a lot
stunts,
more this
Chat.
year. If they can't get free, they will try hard to bat the ball down. Going back into my safety adjustments here, I set them back to default a few plays ago, but now that he is in the red zone, I want to bring everything in tight again because if he runs the ball, this is going to help us, but also the closer you get to the end zone, you want to bring the safeties in tighter to help defend those seams a little bit better because there's less space for them to work
don't know
with.
about quite
Now,
this tight.
We're equipped to defend everything, hopefully, here. He's
Pause.
going up. We go for the pick. Somehow
Oh,
we miss it.
man.
Accomplished what we wanted to there in terms
And they
of
were
making
supposed
the
to
passing
fix
window
user
smaller and
picks.
muddying up the box in case he wanted to run. Now we're
Come
just
on,
gonna try to
EA.
stick with that again. He's going to fake us out with the play action here, and he's going to take off. Lenore Sellers is a problem in this game, and he gets the first.
They'll try to get it in with the run. They fire. Back to throw, it's Sellers.
Nice swat.
Comes the field goal team.
Let's go back. So that is a big thing they said is user swat
And he'll try to
trumps
go
interception attempts this year.
Shouldn't be too bad from this distance.
Start using that X button.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Good timing on the quick out. They're getting cocky and cockier on 3rd down here. Wants to throw. It's Klubnik. Fires to the wideout.
Terrible read.
Hang on. That one was nearly picked off.
Now, something you're going to notice here is he's going to go for a deep pass, and I'm going to go for a swat. You've seen me do that a few times in this video. The swat
we just talked
give you
about.
a little bit more coverage this year, so when you're not in perfect position for a pick, it's better to really go for those swats. They work really good. He cooks me with an out route here on 3rd down. I was playing man blitz, and he cooked me to the outside. He's going back to the run here again. You'll notice run blocking is significantly better this year. I'm not going to say it's perfect, and it's never going to miss a block, but the trenches are a lot better this year. Now, here is something else I want you to notice. Lenore Sellers, we're going for all-out blitz here. But he has extender, and you'll notice it just up-tiered the Heisman as he shook off my DB, and now he's out breaking tackles, making a huge run. Watch it back. Notice right when he breaks the tackle, his extender lights up red. That means it up-tiered to Heisman because, as you can see, he's got momentum, and that means his ability is going to perform at the highest level. Going back to the safety adjustments here, we're going to bring him in tight because it's a short yardage situation, and he's inside the red zone, so this is where we want to use that even more. And you can see every time we do that, we have been defending the run run well. Right here, I'm going to use another new feature. I'm going to route commit on my outside corner. I'm going to tell him
Okay.
to route commit to the outside because last time we were in a similar situation with the off coverage and I blitzed, he
Let's go back.
to the outside because last time we were in a similar situation, route commit on my outside corner. I'm going to tell him to route commit to the outside because last time we were in
They
a
don't
similar
really show it,
situation
but
with the off coverage and I blitzed, he hit the out route for a first down. So
I
if
do
he
like
thinks he's going to have
I do like being able to route commit and say commit outside or commit inside. You know, last year's game, you would say inside shade, they'd still give up the inside.
that this time we've route committed to the outside and you can see he's
He
all
jumped
over it
straight
as well.
outside.
Notice how the DB is going to favor the outside because I told him specifically, I want you to route commit to that outside.
Okay.
Don't give up this pass. And that's another one of my favorite features this year. So you can route commit to the outside or inside. You can do it on individual defenders or you can tell your whole
Sticky
defense to
icky.
do it. Now here's going to be another example. I believe on this play, he's either shading or route committing to the inside. And notice how I'm able to cook him on the out route. If you commit the wrong way, you're going to get cooked. But if you commit the right way, you can shut down routes very easily. Now all that's left for us to do is to punch this in right here before half, and we're going to walk in the end zone and watch as I walk close to the goalpost. This is something new you can do this year. If you just walk to the goalpost,
Oh, that's cool.
they'll jump up and slap the bar in different ways. And I don't know, I just like little touches like that. Anything that makes the game
Yeah, I like that.
feel more real, I'm all for it. Again, here you'll see we still got those safeties in tight, and he cannot run the ball right now.
Looking for a man. It's
I remember you could interact with the mascot. Remember that? You could dance with the mascot.
down he goes at the 18.
Those 5 offensive linemen.
Quarterback on the keeper. Oh, he's getting it.
Oh, I like that. I like that blocking.
Those 5 offensive linemen.
See that pulling guard or tight end actually blocked somebody instead of just running out there. Cover 0 again.
Looking to throw, it's Sellers.
Cooked.
Got the quick pass.
I want you to notice on this play, I'm going to route commit my entire defense to the outside. So you'll notice that the in-breaking route is going to beat his man, but the out-breaking routes are going to be smothered, and that's where he goes.
Oh, yeah, that in-breaking
Also
route.
over the top. Look how he plays the ball. When the safety is looking
I mean, that was a good pick,
and that's where
but
notice that the in-breaking route is going to beat his man.
watch
but the
number
out-breaking
3.
routes are going to be smothered, and that's where he goes.
Torch,
The
that's
safety
6
also
if he
gets over
throws
the
it.
top. Look how he plays the ball. When the safety is looking at the ball, or just defenders in general, they're going to react a little bit better this year, and you can see how he was all over that. They're really giving us all the tools we need to play defense how we want. Here, I'm pulling up my substitution. I can see my running back has some wear and tear injury, so we're going to have to sub him out here. We don't want him to keep getting banged up and either get hurt or just get to the point where he's not even usable anymore. But going back to the defense, the stuff they're giving us with all the safety depth, with all the unique blitzes, the ability to route commit, working on the leverage and the shading, I mean, it really allows you to fully scheme up defense the way you want it. So anything that can be a problem in this game, you should have the tools to defend it now the way you want. And speaking of new mechanics, there's a new thing that's called untarget defender. So if you flick up on the right stick, you move the yellow icon, you can put it on a player that you want your O-line to ignore. Now, why would you do this? Because what users like to do, as you can see, he's mugging the gap with his safety, but he probably doesn't intend to rush with him. He's trying to rush the other guys, but he wants...
Yeah, this is huge. A lot of guys like to do those engage blitzes where they fake with their user and then drop out and your O-line doesn't know who to block and then you give up a sack. That's, again, guesswork. You're going to have to guess who that man's coming or not coming.
to confuse the O-line. So I can tell the O-line to ignore him or untarget him so they will not see him as a rushing threat. And you can see because
now he's still blitzed.
We're able to pick up all the blitzers and not get glitched out. And here you see on the next play, he's in the same defense. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to tell the offensive line to ignore him. So if he wants to get pressure with him, he's going to actually have to rush in with him, which he is doing, but he's not going to be able to stand there and just glitch out.
I like that catch mechanic.
After the incompletion, they go back up top, trying to make magic with his feet.
Good slide. It's a tight ball game.
Now the pitch. And they'll shove him out of
Here you're going to see I'm going to bring
Defense took better angles. I like
Again,
that.
I'm constantly monitoring this, and we can see that the QB and my starting running back both have some wear and tear going on. So We got to monitor that and be safe. But we're going to try to take it outside here with the running back and get to the end zone. He plays to the inside. I think he thought I was going to juke back in because normally
Nice hezzy. Hit him with the
at
hezzy.
the pylon. So he kind of just stood there waiting for me to juke in, and it just never happened. And just always be mindful of that when you're playing other users. Don't always do what they expect you to do. Here, again, look, going for swats. I think the SWAT button is really good this year. And you'll notice I just set my safety depth to go deep now because we don't have a lot of time left. I got a 2-possession lead. I'm not trying to do anything too crazy. I don't want to give up a quick score, so I'd rather not
Super
get beat by
deep
any big
safeties.
plays. I'm okay with giving him the underneath stuff because if it takes him some time to score, he's going to need an onside kick to beat me anyway.
Up with the pass. Grabbed in the middle. It's Bennett. Working their way closer and closer. A third down conversion, and they've got it at the 26. Lost a throw.
And he continues scrambling around with Lenore Sellers. He's a hard guy to get a hold of. Left the middle of the field wide open. That was an easy pass.
Nice
I want
read.
you to watch how bad my user is here. I mean, I just ran right past him. My user needs work. Inexcusable.
Point try if you want to make the deficit just a field goal. Under fire. He gets
Sellers is a problem, right?
now they trail by only 3. So it's a 77-yard touchdown drive. And they
Going for the onside kick. We're going to recover it, and we're going to get the dub. And you're going to see yet another new rivalry trophy that's in the game this year. Second rivalry trophy under our belt. Now, let's get into
It's a ball game. Looks good, I gotta say. Offense still looks overpowered. We'll see what the tools are for defense. Seems like a lot of work we're gonna have to do on defense, a lot of adjustments and switches. So once the game comes out, we'll be talking about all that stuff. Again, if you want to see the full video, I think there's another gameplay after this one. Go over to Eric's channel. It'll be linked down in the description. All right, guys, I'm out.